Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs MCQs program. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, regarding Alternative Investment Fund, that is AIF, consider the following statements. 1. AIF in India is a private investment fund that pools funds from sophisticated investors, both domestic and foreign, and invest based on a defined policy for investor gain. 2. A debt fund is an AIF that invests primarily in debt or debt securities of listed or unlisted investee companies according to the fund's stated objectives. 3. An AIF under the SEBI Alternative Investment Funds Regulations 2012 can be established only in the form of trust. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Alternative Investment Fund or AIF means any fund established or incorporated in India which is a privately pooled investment vehicle that collects funds from sophisticated investors, whether Indian or foreign, for investing it in accordance with a defined investment policy for the benefit of its investors. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Debt fund is an alternative investment fund which invests primarily in debt or debt securities of listed or unlisted investee companies according to the stated objectives of the fund. Hence, statement 2 is correct. An AIF under the SEBI Alternative Investment Funds Regulations 2012 can be established or incorporated in the form of a trust or a company or a limited liability partnership or a body corporate. Most of the AIFs registered with SEBI are in trust form. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Majority of the answers in the comment section were correct. Keep answering like this. Now, let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements. 1. The Svalbard Treaty is the sole treaty that governs scientific research in the Arctic region. 2. India is a signatory to the Svalbard Treaty. 3. Himadri was India's first research base in the Arctic. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option A, only one. India signed the Svalbard Treaty in Paris in 1920. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Dakshin Gangotri in Antarctica was set up much earlier in 1983. Dakshin Gangotri is now submerged under ice, but India's two other stations, Maitri and Bharti, are in use. Scientific research in the Arctic region is governed by international legal instruments like the Svalbard Treaty of 1920 and the UN Convention on the Law of the Seas, apart from the individual jurisdictions of the Arctic countries. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Recently, the Union Minister of Earth Sciences flagged off India's first winter scientific expedition to the Arctic. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, recently the Global Study on Homicide 2023 report was released by which of the following? World Bank, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, World Health Organization, or International Association for Suicide Prevention? The correct answer is option B, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Recently, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, that is UNODC, released a Global Study on Homicide 2023 report, which found that homicide is a bigger killer than armed conflict and terrorism combined. Homicide is the killing of a person, whether lawful or unlawful, intentional or unintentional, while murder is the unlawful killing of a person with intent or malice aforethought. According to the report, an average of around 440,000 deaths annually occurred due to homicide between 2019 and 2021. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, regarding the Hindustan Republican Association, consider the following statements. 1. Chandrasekhar Azad was the founder of this organization. 2. The association envisioned a republic grounded in universal suffrage and socialist principles. 3. HRA transformed into the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in 1927. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option A, only one. Ram Prasad Bismil and Ashfaqullah Khan, both of whom had a flair of poetry, were among the group's founders. Others included Sachindra Nath Bakshi and trade unionist Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee. Figures such as Chandrasekhar Azad and Bhagat Singh also joined the HRA. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. They envisioned a republic grounded in universal suffrage and socialist principles, prioritizing the abolition of systems enabling human exploitation. Hence, statement 2 is correct. HRA transformed into the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in 1928 due to a shift towards socialist ideologies, broadening its focus from political independence to encompass socio-economic equality. Led by figures like Bhagat Singh, the HSRA merged nationalist aspirations with socialist principles, altering the trajectory of India's freedom struggle. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is regarding malaria. Consider the following statements. 1. It is a life-threatening mosquito-borne blood disease caused by protozoa. 2. Malaria spreads through infected female Anopheles mosquito bites. 3. The R21 matrix M vaccine became the first malaria vaccine to achieve WHO pre-qualification. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. It is a life-threatening mosquito-borne blood disease caused by Plasmodium parasites. It is preventable and curable, predominantly found in tropical and subtropical regions of Africa, South America, and Asia. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Malaria spreads through infected female Anopheles mosquito bites, with parasites multiplying in the liver and subsequently attacking red blood cells. Hence, statement 2 is correct. World Health Organization has recently added the R21 matrix M malaria vaccine to its list of pre-qualified vaccines. The R21 matrix M vaccine became the second malaria vaccine to achieve WHO pre-qualification. The first one was the RTS-AS01 vaccine. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Post Office Bill 2023. Consider the following statements. 1. The bill specifies procedural safeguards for interception of articles transmitted through India Post. 3. The bill attempts to make India Post liable for any lapses in postal services. 3. The bill specifies penalties for the unauthorized opening of postal articles by a postal officer. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option D, none. The bill allows the center to empower any officer to intercept, open, or detain any item in the interest of state security, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, emergency, public safety, or contravention of other laws. The bill does not specify procedural safeguards for interception of articles transmitted through India Post. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The bill exempts the post office and its officer from any liability by reason of any loss, misdelivery, delay, or damage in course of any service provided by the post office, except such liability as may be prescribed. The bill exempts India Post from liability for lapses in postal services. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The bill removes all penalties and offences under the 1898 Act. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the All India Judicial Services. Consider the following statements. 1. The concept of AIJS originated from Law Commission reports in 1958 and 1978. 2. Article 312 of the Constitution provides for the establishment of AIJS similar to Central Civil Services. 3. The current system involves granting states the authority over the appointment of district judges managed through state public service commissions and high courts. How many of the statements given above are not correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option D, none. That is, all the statements are correct. Originating from Law Commission reports in 1958 and 1978, AIJS seeks to address structural issues like varying pay, faster vacancy filling, and standardized nationwide training. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Article 312 of the Constitution provides for the establishment of AIJS similar to Central Civil Services upon a resolution by the Rajya Sabha supported by at least 2/3 of its members. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The current system involves Articles 233 and 234 granting states the authority over the appointment of district judges managed through state public service commissions and high courts, since HCs exercise jurisdiction of the subordinate judiciary in the state. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Genome sequencing is figuring out the order of RNA nucleotides or bases in a genome. 2. The Human Genome Project was a CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, plans to undertake genome sequencing of a sample of nearly 1000 Indian rural youth. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. That is, both the statements are incorrect. The human genome is made up of 23 chromosome pairs with a total of about 3 billion DNA base pairs. There are 24 distinct human chromosomes, 22 autosomal chromosomes, plus the sex-determining X and Y chromosomes. Genome sequencing is figuring out the order of DNA nucleotides or bases in a genome, the order of adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine that makes up an organism's DNA. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The Human Genome Project was an international research effort to determine the sequence of the human genome and identify the genes that it contains. The project was coordinated by the National Institutes of Health and the US Department of Energy. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the special leave petition. Consider the following statements. 1. The Constitution of India under Article 136 vests the Supreme Court with a special power to grant special leave to appeal against any judgment made by any court or tribunal. 2. Any aggrieved party can file SLP against the judgment or order of refusal of grant of certificate. 3. SLP can be filed against any judgment of the High Court within 90 days from the day of judgment. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option C, all 3. The Constitution of India under Article 136 vests the Supreme Court with a special power to grant special leave to appeal against any judgment or order or decree in any matter or cause passed or made by any court or tribunal in the territory of India. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Any aggrieved party can file SLP against the judgment or order of refusal of grant of certificate. Hence, statement 2 is correct. SLP can be filed against any judgment of the High Court within 90 days from the day of judgment. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Central Bureau of Investigation. Consider the following statements. 1. It functions under the superintendence of the Department of Personnel, Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances, which falls under the Prime Minister's office. 2. For investigations of offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act, its superintendence vests with the office of Lok Ayukt in the state. 3. It is also the nodal police agency in India which coordinates investigations on behalf of Interpol member countries. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option B, 1 and 3 only. Central Bureau of Investigation or CBI is the premier investigating police agency in India. It provides assistance to the Central Vigilance Commission and Lokpal. It functions under the superintendence of the Department of Personnel, Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances, Government of India. Hence, statement 1 is correct. However, for investigations of offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act, its superintendence vests with the Central Vigilance Commission. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It is also the nodal police agency in India which coordinates investigations on behalf of Interpol member countries. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Last question is regarding the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957. Consider the following statements. 1. It regulates the mining sector in India and specifies the requirement for obtaining and granting mining leases for mining operations. 2. It has been amended only once since its enactment. 3. The 2015 amendment created a district mineral foundation for the welfare of affected communities. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option B, 1 and 3 only. MMDR Act 1957 regulates the mining sector in India and specifies the requirement for obtaining and granting mining leases for mining operations. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Act has been amended multiple times in 2015, 2021, and most recently in 2023. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The MMDR Act 1957 was amended in 2015 to introduce auction-based mineral concession allocation for transparency, create District Mineral Foundation or DMF for the welfare of affected communities, establish National Mineral Exploration Trust, that is NMET, to promote exploration, and impose stricter penalties for illegal mining. Hence, statement 3 is correct. To give further impetus to the mineral sector, the Act has been further amended in 2021. Under the reforms, the government has given a major boost to auction of mineral blocks, increasing production, improving ease of doing business in the country, and increasing the contribution of mineral production to gross domestic product. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Regarding the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, consider the following statements. 1. It is a criminal law enacted to prevent money laundering and to provide for confiscation of property derived from or involved in money laundering and related matters. 2. The provisions of this act apply to all financial institutions, banks, mutual funds, insurance companies, and their financial intermediaries, excluding the Reserve Bank of India. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.